much more than chaotic. This is the biggest challenge yet for the opposition to the government. I am about 150 meters from the Colombian border, right at the entrance of the bridge, the customs office, and with some 600 protesters led by members of the opposition-led National Assembly. There were about 30 to 40 deputies leading the charge. There's tear gas everywhere. Rubber bullets are being fired. These opposition members are trying to break through. They already broke down the first barriers, the initial set of barriers. The National running for protection. Now they're behind another barrier closer to the customs office. If they make it past there, they're already practically inside Colombia. There's only the river and the bridge that separates the river from between Venezuela and Colombia. They're playing cat and mouse here. These opposition members are refusing to back down, despite, as I say, all the tear gas and the rubber bullets that are being fired. So we're just waiting now to see. I'm now at a higher position, just next to the protesters, so I can see I have a full view of what's going on, and I actually cannot see large numbers of National Guardsmen. They seem to have all gathered behind the last barrier. They are not trying to get them off the street, which is very significant.
And Lucia, just to so our viewers are clear on this, you are, of course, on the Venezuelan side of the border. Give us an idea of the numbers of people there, the numbers of protesters compared to the National Guardsmen.
Yeah. All right. Well, the numbers of National Guard, it's hard to tell because many of them are being kept inside the barracks. We went through those barracks earlier on. We tried to get to the bridge itself, and we were told we had to leave. But they're being kept inside, so people can't see them all. So, but there are many of them. We understand there are at least several thousand of them already here in Táchira. And the members of the opposition are around 600, 700 that started marching from about 4 blocks from where I am now towards this bridge, and they are not planning to move. And this is according to the lead deputy from the National Assembly. She told me this is really, they're going to give their all. This is the make or break point. They believe that if they stay here long enough, the National Guard will turn on their officers and let them through.
We've been hearing from Juan Guaido on the other side, Lucia, in Cucuta, and he has been sending off trucks carrying aid from there to the Venezuelan border, across into Venezuela, we understand. He says humanitarian aid is on its way there. Have you seen any indications of that from where you are at this point?
We can't see anything that's happening on the Colombian side because it's blocked. But what I'm told by the members of the opposition who are leading this charge is that they believe that it's exactly on the other side of the bridge where I am right now, where they're trying to break into, and that they were carrying this aid by hand and a human chain, they said. They're not going to try to drive it in, but this was their plan all along, and they are inching their way closer and closer to carrying it out.
And Lucia, I know you were telling us a little bit earlier that there were, I believe, 3 members of the Venezuelan security personnel who did defect, as it were, turn themselves over to the other side. So it really, a lot of this does depend on how those Venezuelan guardsmen react on the front lines of this.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. That's what it is going to make. That could be the tilting point. In fact, I think there were 4 National Guardsmen, 1 in the Ureña Bridge, 3 in this right now. Over 2 of the Colombian authorities basically defecting, and also in March there's a sergeant who has just defected over to the other. He was with the opposition right now, so that's very interesting that he's doing that on this side of the border and not on the other side where he would be safer.
And just taking a step back here, Lucia, obviously this has all been building up over several months and even years. Give us a sense, because you're in Venezuela, of course, give us a sense of just how desperate the situation is there for so many people in Venezuela in terms of the economic crisis.
Of course, Hassan. We've been reporting this is situation here, medicine, hunger, the soaring infant mortality rate.
All right. Unfortunately, we're getting. It's very difficult to hear Lucia because of the connection there. But we do appreciate all of the on-the-ground reporting that she is doing from there and describing the scene to us. While we try to fix that, we're going to go back across the Colombian side where Alessandro Rampietti is in Cucuta. So, Alessandro, bring us up to date.